Just that sometimes our suppliers are so nice to us that sometimes we go beyond the day specified, but they still pardon us, try to joy with us, but they have every right to take us to court if we don't go by the rules. SRA should also be raised to support payments and expenditures of goods and services received and attested. It is just nice that you have requested for something. It has been supplied. You need to be sure that whatever you ask for is what has come before you pay. You see? And as we said, we are doing public financial management. It is public funds. So we have to be sure that whatever we say we need is what is supplied, the specification, and the service for which is going to be used for, it conforms before we go ahead and make payments. Now, petty cash. I was saying that, I said earlier in one of the slides that all monies collected should be paid in gross. We need not pick any of it before because we need to buy some items. No. So there's an arrangement made to cater for minor expenses in the course of business. So the Financial Administration Act or any enactment in the meantime in force permits BMCs to pay for relatively what? Minor expenses in cash. In order to maintain uniformity throughout the MOH, there's a table that has prescribed how much each facility should benefit from. I mean, by way of interest. In view of the fact that cost increases over time, I mean, due to inflation, periodically the financial controller will review, and we'll be seeing pretty shortly what the thresholds are. In fact, they are in the ATF. So we have them here. DAD polyclinics are supposed to have 2,000 as a float. Then we have the disbursement threshold, 200. You can't spend 220 or 210 at a time. No. Only items within 200, up to 200 at a time can be spent. If you come to the health center, it's 500 at a point. It's what you have. And then you can spend up to 100. That is per each transaction. It can be 10, it can be 20, but it can't exceed 100. The chips is 200. You can't spend more than 50 at a go. 10, 20, 30, up to 50. Another 10, 20, up to 50 until it's exhausted. And all this should be authorized. But we have verbal. Maybe they need some money, you are in charge, you are not there. They call you, oh, okay, we want to buy a battery or switch. Oh, how much is it? 20. Okay, go ahead. You don't need any documentation. But with the other threshold, disbursement threshold, 200, 100, at least you need some form of authorization by a request that you need this, then you can minute that fine. It's approved. Then whoever is the interest holder can disburse the funds. It is obvious that most of the payments at the sub-district level will be interest, which is managed through petty cash. Interest must be properly established, approved by the DDHS, and operated within the rules of the ATF. Note that interest should not be used directly from revenue. So there's a process. We need to put in a request. We get it. As we use it, we retire it, and then we put in another request. A petty cash custodian or interest holder should be an account staff. But where we don't have account staff, the in charge, physician assistant, head of the place, you can nominate somebody to do that on your behalf. But you put it into writing that this is the person who has been nominated to handle interest. Petty cash released to the custodian is an advance until it is retired. So once it is processed, it is an advance. So he needs to get the receipts, clear it, account for it, and then put in another request. Petty cash should be replenished only when the previous release has been duly retired. So if you take 100 cedis to go and buy whatever you are buying, you need to get the receipt, bring it back before you can take another. You don't come and take, or maybe 50, keep it, go and take another 70, go and take another 20. No, whatever you have taken, you need to retire it by way of receipt. So the petty cash holder must ensure to take receipts for all payments out of the petty cash. So once you give it out, you should expect a receipt. Otherwise, the person comes, he doesn't get another one. He or she should not wait until cash is exhausted before applying for replenishment. So if you apply for 500 as a float or to disburse, you don't wait till the last CD is finished before. If you want to wait, that means next request coming will have to be kept, because the procedure for processing will take some time. So even when it gets to 400, you can put in, once you have the receipts, you can put in another request whilst you have the balance of 100 to be attending to issues before it becomes ready. He or she should not wait for the cash to be exhausted. Yeah. So make sure to file the receipts and secure the receipts as well as the cash. So the receipts too should be secure, because that is what is going to justify your next request. Submit the statement together with the receipts and a memo applying for replenishment to the District Director of Health Services. So that is where you don't have, it's not a large health center. Upon approval by the District Director, the District Accountant processes it and releases the required approved amount to the petty cash holder. So once it's approved, it is processed by the accountant at the district and then released to you to do your work. Where you have an accountant at your facility, you will not go through the district. It will be done wherever you are. The petty cash holder should keep, you want, so that at a point, in fact, before you process the next one, you need to be to reconcile, to be sure that what is taken is accounted for fully. And then from time to time, the district accountant should conduct monitoring visits to the sub-district periodically to assist and build the capacity of the non-finance petty cash holder. So periodically, the heads of finance are supposed to come around to support, as I said earlier. Payment which attract withholding taxes should not be made from petty cash. So all petty cash disbursements do not attract withholding tax. So if you buy something from petty cash and auditor comes to tell you that you didn't pay withholding tax, tell the person that petty cash amounts do not attract withholding tax. Now we are moving to the stage 4. So all this was in stage 3. And that is what he said, we have a lot of laws and a lot of things to do. So now we are going to stage 4, accounting and reporting. Back to PFM. So as part of the stewardship responsibility of public officers, this stage of PM demands that day-to-day activities of public entities, including financial activities, are recorded, accounted for, and reported to appropriate authorities. So the calculators are there adding the figures. Public entities are required by law to produce periodic programmatic and financial reports on their operations. You will recall that on quarterly basis, hello, yes, on quarterly basis, you will hear that the finance report say they are going for validation. Every quarter, validation. This validation, what are they doing? We don't get it. In fact, we are doing a lot, because by law, at the end of each quarter, every facility is supposed to put all these expenses and revenues together, forward them to the region. In fact, we have timelines. Then the region will forward it to Ghana Health Service headquarters for collation. It is collated, sent to Ministry of Health, collated, and Ministry of Health also sends it to controller. So you can imagine the time. And so like I said, we have timelines. 2 weeks after the end of the month, we are supposed to do. 3 weeks or so, we are supposed to reach where within a month it should get to controller. So now controller is even with us currently as we are having our validation. They have joined us because the cycle is too far for them. So they've come to join us at our validation to pick the figures straight. So let us not joke with validation. Those of us who are large health centers and we have the finance staff, in fact, it is your responsibility, and that's the last bullet, that the responsibility is on the head of department, facility in charge, to make sure that all these records you have kept, these GCRs you wrote and transferred to the books, and the final IGF summary cash book is gone for validation, for them to just check and be sure that the values and figures that you said you have received or you have paid is true before we collect it and send it to national. Because once it's gone into the financials, it is difficult to reverse. So the essence is to authenticate the figures and be sure that if I wrote 1,280, it is really 1,280 that is supposed to be before we put it there. So that is the essence of it. And it's behoves on you as the in charge to ensure that this is done. So if your accountant doesn't come for validation, then it is you the whole responsible because you didn't do your validation. So he's just coming to do it on your behalf because you are to ensure that it is done. Stage 5, auditing. So you can see the young man there with his glasses, seriously looking. In fact, if he had the second lens cry, he will add, because he wants to see exactly what is there, what you said you did. Did you do it right? Okay. So this is the review of the outputs of stages 1 to 4. Planning to accounting. 4. He comes to look at everything from beginning by an independent person called the auditor, with the aim of what? Providing assurance on the efficiency and effectiveness of what? In the generation and use of public funds. Because it's public, it's people's money. So, if my taxes or something have been used to pay your salary for you to work for the whole of Ghana, then I have to be assured that whatever you are being paid or what you are supposed to do, you have done it. And I cannot do it myself. You cannot do it. Somebody else will have to come and look at it. So the audit is carried out by internal audits, and you know we have them in our amidst in the Ghana Health Service. Sometimes they come around. The Ghana Audit Service, annual basis, they come around, and other private audit firms. In fact, the donors, for them, even yesterday, there was an audit for the polio that we just ended. WHO, they asked them to come. Every now and then they are coming. Audit observations are issued from the audit and management, giving ample time to provide feedback. We know how it is done. They'll give the observations and give us some time. And the timeline, we have to go by them because they are also working with time. So usually when they give this, let us be serious and address the challenges. Sometimes we think it's nothing, but it is something. Once they say do it within this timeline, try hard to do it so that you have your peace. So once he issues the management letter, take action, and then the final, because if the final report is issued, straight away it goes to Parliament. You will not even see it again. So that if you have that opportunity, why not make use of it so that you have your peace. Then we come to the last stage, which is the public accountability. And you can see from the diagram beside the presentation, they say, not me. This one said what? Is this person's fault? Is their fault? This one says, so it's my fault. Is this one? So everybody is trying to run away. But once the law catches up on you, once the judge banks, it's final. So it's an obligation required from public officials to be answerable for what has been accomplished or not accomplished from resources entrusted in their care. So you and I, heads of facilities, in charges, we have to account to the public. This ensures that actions and decisions taken by public officials are subject to oversight. So at least the society knows that these people that our monies have been entrusted to do the work are doing it or they are not doing it. And the public is always interested in this. Public accountability involves two stages: answerability and enforcement. And once it comes to enforcement, it means it's prosecution. So the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament is the ultimate accountability institution that is in charge of this stage on behalf of the people of Ghana. And sometimes you will see that periodically our bosses are called to go and face the cameras. It is not a pleasant thing at all. I don't also pray. I don't even pray that I get close there. So I always make sure that whatever I'm supposed to do, I do it right. It is so difficult to face those cameras over there. So as heads, let us do well to take this aspect very seriously, and then we can save ourselves. So in conclusion, a good financial management principle is a pivot upon which all sustainable development revolves. Many entities, including individuals, you and I, and government, fail to achieve their desired objectives due to lack of strong, sound financial principles and practices. So the total success of every manager, as we are here, is on his or her appreciation and implementation of prudent financial management. So as we leave, as we come for this program, as we go back to our facilities, let us have it at the back of our minds that we are managers, and for that matter, we need to implement prudent financial management. GPAA, I thank you so much for your attention. And a last quote from our former Attorney General. He said that public financial management is not based on trust, but what? Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay. So I'll take some questions.
For your patience and time spent with us. That by inference, with what happened with the interactions, I want to ask, is it possible we can have this presentation so that those of us who, were not privy to all the content can refer to it in our in the future so that we can use it to do our work?
Sure, you can.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, because of time, probably we'll take 2 questions. Just 2 questions, and then we are out of here. Snack has been ready for some time now. Yeah, the first one.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, when she was doing the presentation on financial reporting at the health center level, we made mention that every single money that is gotten from the facility every day must be banked. But I want to find out whether is it financial prudent management to have a kind of financial system called cash revolving fund, where at the end of the day, all the cash that is being taken is divided, then some percentage is being kept to run the day-to-day affairs of the facility, with the idea that because of the bureaucracy involved in going to the bank to cash money to come and run, and so at least that cash revolving fund practice is to be able to resolve that. Is it a prudent financial management system? That's what I want to know. Thank you.
Okay, the next one at the back. The gentleman at the back. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to find out how the service is comfortable with it, because I've realized that much is on the PA. You are not trained on something, but you are held responsible for it. So if you look at a health center, they expect the PA to be the accountant, they expect the PA to be this and that. Why is it that there is no remuneration attached, but there is, you are held liable for something that goes wrong? And even with our deployment, before they were supposed to give you a health center, probably they could have taken you through some of these things. You are not given, you are left there to go and work. Then when the cameras catch you, they'll come and tell you that you have messed up the place or something like that. So can we have something that if you are going to be a head of, what is the name, a health center, you should have some basic financial training so that you know what and what is expected of you. They are using terms here, SRAs and the rest. I know there are some of us here who don't even know the full meaning of those things, but we are running health centers. So can the service start looking at some basic training for us who are heading this facility or prior to going to head a facility, some basic training to be given to a person so that it doesn't go and then have himself to struggle with. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. So, Director can take over.
Thank you very much for your question. Banking, you asked of cash revolving fund. Is it prudent financial management? For instance, a percentage kept at the facility to do day-to-day activity. No, it is not in our statutes. The ATF has not prescribed something like that. And that is why we are saying that all revenue collected should be banked intact. Talking about a bureaucracy in getting the funding, that is what for now we have to go by. And so once you know you have an interest and it is running out, that's why I said don't wait till the last CD is exhausted before. And in fact, interest can be done even within a day so many times, provided you have the receipts to support them. But because you are far, it is seen that sometimes it is not all the time that you have time to come to the district or whatever to process your documents. But you need to make an arrangement and make sure that that is done. Because for now, we cannot leave any cash aside for revolving fund. So we will have to look through, scan through and see how best this can be managed at the facility level, as the head. No remuneration, no basic training. You are very right. Yes. As heads of facilities, so much has been put on us. And in fact, the DHD accountants, especially for those who are small health centers or don't have finance staff, are supposed to give you this training. So if it is not done, you may have to request for it from the DHD. You come together, if you have 6 or 10 facilities, including the chiefs, you agree and you write to the DHD, you need some training. It has to be done because they cannot say they will not do it for you. In any case, you are generating the money, so it has to be done. So please put in a request. The DHD accountant, if he's not able to do it alone, he will reach us at the regional level. We will come over and then we'll take you through. It is right that especially the new ones, when we are being posted, we should be giving some orientation. Maybe in the course of orientation, if financial management is not part, it has to be looked at. And so if it is not done before, and once you get there, please put in a request for it to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. We are grateful for your time, and we believe many of us will be seeing you in the office anytime we need your assistance. Okay, so on this note, this session is over. Coupons are going out. You have to see your regional coordinators for your coupon for snack and lunch. The coupons are combined. So you flip off the snack one, then when it is lunchtime, you take the other one. We have another very important presentation to make just after snack. So 20 minutes time, we have to gather here. You know, the issue is, please, hold on. We want to finish everything today. So tomorrow we know we are having it for the excursion. We don't want to come back here to do any presentation before going for the excursion. We want to finish everything today, and we can have ample time to do whatever we want to do, our socialization and everything tomorrow. So please, in 20 minutes time, we are coming back. Thank you.